Hey, hi there, Garima. Yeah, still you are on mute.
Hello.
Yeah, it's good now. Cool. So yeah, welcome you all guys to the stream. We are gonna be talking much about WWDC scholarship and mostly demystifying all the thoughts around it. So today, me, Amit Samant, and Garima is hosting this event. And yeah, Garima can go ahead with your introduction.
Yeah. So I'm Garima. I'm one of the WWDC scholars from last year, and currently I'm interning at Swiggy, uh, and looking forward to this event and talk, clearing all everyone's doubts.
Cool stuff. So I guess
Over
I
to
will go
you.
next. Mhm. So yeah, I'm Amit. I'm an WWDC 2020 scholar winner, and I'm also an iOS developer at Gojek. So yeah, that's all about the introduction. We'll be talking much in details about how like to apply for WWDC and what are all the other questions around this. So yeah, feel free to shoot the comments on YouTube, and we'll be able to answer it to you. Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting ahead of that, I would
Um,
be posting.
I think first we should address the question that what is WWDC scholarship?
Yeah, we should.
So would you like to take that up on?
Yeah, sure. I would love to explain that a bit. So, WWDC, as you all might have known, it's a developer conference which is held by Apple, Ara- and it's an yearly conference where they announce multiple frameworks and developer related toolings, and also some of their hardware products too. So that is actually WWDC. While they do this event, they also like kind of organize and scholarship challenges for students to encourage them into programming and coding in general. So yeah, that is overall WWDC and Swift Student Challenge. What's
Yeah.
your take on this?
So so as we all know, WWDC is conducted by Apple. So Swiss Student Challenge is a part of WWDC. Previously, it was known as WWDC scholarships, which were given out to students. But since the pandemic has struck and everything is online, it has been renamed to Swift Student Challenge. Mainly, some of the informational details would be that children or students above the age of 13 can apply. You need to either be in a school, college, university, or maybe you're awaiting response from a university and things like that. Uh, it is not for professionals. This time there's an added rule that full-time developers cannot apply. And along with that, another new rule is that if you've already won the student challenge or the scholarship previously for a total of 4 times, you cannot apply. So these are some of the rules about who can apply. Um, so moving forward, Amit, can you address more? Can you address more about which topics should people should people be focusing on while applying, or like what should they keep in mind when applying?
Yeah, I guess that's a nice question. So, oh, usually what happens in earlier WWDC, you will be asked to create a playground book or playground, basically Explore Playground or Swift Playground app is basically could be consumed in around some, I guess, 3 minutes or something. I guess, yeah. So there you need to show your creativity and create something which does not interact with the network at all, but still present a nice idea or anything. Like you could use any kind of frameworks you want, like UIKit, Core ML, to create your idea and present it to the reviewers. So that was mostly for the from the last year and the years before that. This year, WWDC is a little bit changed. So you all guys must have known that Apple recently announced that you can create and submit apps from your iPad now. So that's a good thing to have, and they are trying to promote this too. So they are now included that as a challenge in the next student challenge. So on this year onwards, like they are asking you to submit a Swift Playground app, and that would be treated as your submission, and you can create any app about anything at all, and you could use any framework you want. The restrictions are just that it needs to be of a certain MB, and also about that it does not like communicates from the internet. All It should be local itself. So that's about the constraint and the type of submission you need to make. About the what kind of submission you could create, you could take an example of like any at all app idea. Basically it could contains like an quiz, let's say, or a game. It could be whatever you want to create, just should be small enough to be fit in that size.
Yeah, and I think another thing worth mentioning here is that you need to keep in mind that the app will be experienced offline only, and at the same time, you need to make sure it is working for all the different sizes, since this is an app and not a playground. Um and other focus areas would be that you can make this playground on a Swift Playground app on the iPad, or in Xcode you can or there's also a method way to make this app, uh, but not the regular way you when you create an app in the Xcode, but specifically uh, create a playground app in the Xcode using Xcode.
Yeah, so
So you
Xcode
don't
has
need
this
an iPad or a Mac to do it. You can have either.
hmm. So that's actually good. So they have included this app template inside Xcode projects. So you can create the iPad app format inside from the Xcode itself. So both type of submissions are accepted. If you build your playground app using Xcode 13, that is also good. And if you build your app totally on the iPad, that is also good. So that's pretty much about the technical details of what kind of submission they are expecting this year. Uh, yeah, cool. So I would just put up this question about how like what is the process of exactly applying for it.
Yeah. So regarding what do we need to do to apply for Swift Student Challenge, you can go to the Apple's developer website. It has a page for Swift Student Challenge. There you can see all the rules. They're very clearly specified, all the restrictions and the timeline. So this year the submission is up to uh, like 24th of April, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, uh, and things like that. And after all of this, when you go to submit, you need to write certain essays or rather
Mm,
paragraphs before the actual uh, giving the actual playground. One would be about
mm,
what inspired you to build the playground. One will be about you. There's also a segment where you can add your resume and etc. Uh, for their database. That's up to you. And yeah, but it is recommended to fill like one of these is optional, which is the part about you, if I'm not wrong. But
mm,
it is suggested that you fill all the fields out because you don't know which ones are really they are being assessed or not. Even the optional ones
mm.
might be taken into consideration sometimes. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's about it on how to apply. And also, please make sure that it's submitted because and try to submit a little before time and not wait for the last minute because sometimes if there's any network issue or something on your end, Apple does not take responsibility for that, and there's no extension. So please follow the timeline if you're applying. Amit, you're not audible.
Oh, shoot. I was speaking in mute. So I was just emphasizing on the point of assess. So while submitting your WWDC submission, it's equally important about the essay part too. So they actually evaluate on basis of your essays as well as your submissions. Also, in essay itself, there's an important sections about apps on App Store. So if you have any apps on App Store, you should definitely mention them in here because Apple actually feature them up in the App Store page. So yeah, that's about it.
I think we have some questions in the UK comment section. Uh, Jafraj Jadhav, can you specify what exactly is the issue you are facing with writing the project in the export?
Well, I guess Yashras has is not responding on the like what issues you're facing. Do share with us whatever the issue is. We can maybe help you out. Good stuff.
Yeah, you can also put it on our Discord channel.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, before moving to further questions, we actually have an guest. So yeah, Garima, if you could introduce and maybe invite.
Yeah. So I see he's already onboarded. Uh, so welcome Darshil to the live stream, and yeah, for everyone here, he's also won the Swiss Student Challenge last year and is currently working at Swiggy. Uh, so he's a great developer. Shoot your questions here for him as well.
Whoa,
Good stuff.
I'm hearing that for the first time, so thank you for that, Garima.
Cool. If you guys don't know, Dasir is also an Swift Student Challenge winner, I guess, on 2021. And Garima was on the same year too, as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool stuff. So, yeah. So, we have some, previous scholars. So, you can ask shoot ahead your questions with them. Good stuff.
I mean, all of us
Moving on
are
to the,
scholars, no?
yeah. But I'm a bit old scholar. So, yeah.
Old school scholar.
More experienced.
Yep.
Yeah, it can be taken as that way. Good stuff. So there's a question which has been asked, so many times in even the Discord channel and even in the Twitters and like all the other channels. So I'm just presenting that question right now. What are the benefits of applying for WWDC scholarship in general? So yeah, again, you can take this up and maybe answer it from your prior experience. How did it help you?
Oh, so
Darshil.
sure, sure. So I think the benefits of Dabdaba are intense. Like just to begin with, it gives you a lot of bandwidth and network to connect with folks who are not just sitting in your room or in your area. I remembered very specifically from last year's Dub Dub that after the event took place, I met online a lot of folks who are working in iOS since the last 10, 20 years, who are working from Dublin or US or Cupertino or whatever place it is. Like the place is not dependent. You just get to meet a lot of talent and you get to learn from their experiences as well. So I'm a part of such communities as well now because I took part in that challenge and I got exposed to those folks. So that's one of the biggest benefits. Apart from that, it really gives your resume a really huge boost. So I had done some internships before, like winning Dub as well. But as soon as I won this challenge, something or the other changed, I guess, because people were somehow replying to my resume, and that was pretty amazing. I remember I took part in the GitHub externship as well, and my mentor, who was there to guide me through that particular project, Mr. Gopal. He really talked that he loved my resume and specifically the dubbed part of it. Like he was mentioning that a lot of students in India as well are now taking part of in this challenge and doing great. So yeah, it really helps your resume. It's a and apart from that, it's a great icebreaker as well. So if you don't have a lot to talk about, it can be a really good icebreaker in a in like an interview or any meeting as well. So if I meet folks who are doing iOS, I want to do something on my own. At that point of time, if I don't have something to begin a conversation with, this can be a huge icebreaker. So yeah, these are the main benefits which I think are there of that app. And you should everyone who is watching this stream or will watch this in future should definitely apply. Uh, just give it a shot.
Yeah, it,
And
it
the
has
Apple
a
hoodie
huge
does
plus
not
point.
hurt.
Yeah,
True.
it
Oh,
does.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, it's still there. That particular box is still there. There are metal pins. There are hoodies. So we don't get a chance to fly to Cupertino anymore because of the pandemic. But the goodies and the merchandise which you get, they are definitely worth flaunting. So yes.
Yeah, and the one
Thanks,
year
Karima, for
Apple
that.
membership.
Yes, correct. Yep.
So if you
So if
guys
you're
don't
an
know about it,
aspiring, yeah,
yeah, you
sorry,
can
sorry,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
So if you're an aspiring developer and you want to put your app to the App Store, right? There's one particular barrier that you need to have a subscription to the App Store. Like it's $100 subscription which you need to buy. But if you win the challenge, then you are given that submission, like that subscription for free. Like you win that subscription, and the idea behind it for Apple is they think that you are worth giving a shot, that you can make something worthwhile which can help their app store as well. So they are basically relying on you, and you get a very good boost from that as well. So yeah, you get a 1 year free subscription.
Yeah, that actually helps a lot of aspiring iOS developers who are trying out and wanted to put out an app to App Store. So yeah. Also, like fun question. Did you guys use your 1 year subscriptions to put out something? Fun
Oh,
question, huh?
yeah, it's a fun question, but once you grasp that question, it's not fun anymore. Like we feel the regret of not submitting. So I can speak for myself, and I am pretty sure Garima would have the same feeling. He after like winning the challenge, we got like exposed to so many good opportunities to learn from folks who are much better than us. That we were completely involved in those internships and learning experiences as well. I had it in mind that I would submit something for sure. Like I had put up in my calendar also ki I will put something. And I told Garima as well, I remember during the last year's challenge, ki I will put an app on the App Store. But
Mm,
things took a turn and I'm currently delivering food through an app. So yeah,
indirectly, but yeah.
true.
True, but though like it's still good to have, cause even though like I didn't publish any app too, so I'm also in the zone. But yeah, so some things like push notifications and other things, the capabilities that needs and paid developer accounts. This kind of things I never got to learn on like, my prior internships. So after I got my 1 year subscription from Apple, I actually used it to good use to for learning this kind of thing. I also almost completed one app to put out on the App Store, but yeah, the same thing happened with me. That opportunities came up, and I got busy with preparing. So yeah,
True.
that's kind of
There's
thing.
one another benefit as well. If you win the challenge, that subscription gives you the access to labs. So I remember from last year's event, Apple had like labs and different discussions set up. And if you had a paid account, you can directly talk to an Apple engineer who has actually built the thing you are worried or having a problem about, and you can ask them regarding that, ki how do I fix this, or how do I get better at it. And it's just not ki you can talk bugs, or like you can talk about bugs or features. I remember I had signed up for a session regarding marketing and how to market your app in a better fashion. Uh, and like the individual who was there on the call had a lot of experience and shared some really good insights as well. So that's also a very good benefit if you win the challenge.
Yeah, the like labs were awesome. I also have an like similar experience to share. So I was on a one-on-one with an Swift UI framework engineer, and I actually got to know about some things which I, if I didn't knew that how the layout works, I was just going crazy, and there was no kind of documentation written about it because nobody knew how it's working under the hood other than the developer who's actually working on it. So that was a good experience to have, and yeah, it does give you access to that lab. So if you win this year, make sure to utilize that labs. Good stuff. Garima, what's your take on like how did WWDC give the benefits to you personally, other than the one stated by?
Yeah, I think other than that, it's just a more sort of expansion on the same, that it exposes you to such a huge network that opportunities automatically flow in. Like, I remember after I won, I just put out one tweet saying that I won, and I got reached out by a lot of folks, like for podcasts, interviews, even
Yeah.
like job opportunities. So that was really cool. That like just you know it can have such a huge effect, and
Mm.
after that, like it's just a rippling effect. It starts like once you do one thing, it sort of puts, the more you do, the more opportunities come your way, I feel. So
Mm.
it starts sort of a journey that uh, it's up to you. Like you can really do a lot. I mean, there are folks who even after winning the scholarship, they go on to be Apple interns and Apple employees, full-time employees. So yeah, there are a lot of perks to it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's actually there's a meme shared around Twitter that it's an necessity that after you won a scholarship, you should do an internship at Apple. So yeah, that's one of the cool perks because you do share your resume on the SS part. They actually keeps up your chances of getting an internship at Apple or a job opportunity at Apple. So yeah, I just made an announcement yesterday about me applying, like visiting for aiming for Apple. So yeah, it was really nice for me too. Good, good. It was good to know. So for my like from my experience about benefits of WWDC, I would say it was a lot. So it was really like what Darshil said, that I got to communicate with a lot of other. For me, it was a bit extreme because I got reached out by Apple's like people management folks, and they kind of interviewed me, and there was an article published in the newspaper. So that was really big thing for me. So yeah, that was a huge reach about that. Yeah. Other than that, like I also like got some kind of interviews with other tech communities and stuff. So yeah, it does put you on the map, if you say. So also like,
Yeah,
and even just interacting with fellow scholars, that is also a good experience because these are the folks who are extremely passionate about iOS development or Apple ecosystem. So you get to learn a lot while creating. So from my experience, while I was creating the submission, I got to know a few folks who were also aspiring for the WWDC scholarship, and at the time I did not have access to an iPad. I needed to run on it. So one of the folks, like Swapnil Dhol, I guess you guys know him too. So he actually helped me with running them, and also like I also asked, because he was also a prior scholar. I also asked about some of the details about applying for the scholarship. So this interaction and this this winning together thing actually made so many connections around the community, so which helped a lot in next upcoming things. And yeah, definitely career wise, I would say WWDC winning this scholarship was the bump in the career, exact logarithmic bump. So yeah, that was really good experience to have, and yeah, you should definitely aspire for it.
Yeah,
Good.
so
So yes.
yeah, I think we should further discuss about like how did exactly help your career and your resume while applying for jobs as well as for the studies.
Cool stuff. Yeah, I guess I will take this up first. Like, for my personal experience, like when I won the scholarship, I created a YouTube video about my submission, and I proudly put that link on my resume. And whenever I kind of applied for any job and anything, whenever the first interview comes through, they always start with the conversation that your submission looked really nice. So that was a huge booster for me. Like I'm still while I'm in 3 years ahead in my career, still I'm get nervous whenever I'm interviewing to other companies. So it's and really nice icebreaker, as Darshil said. Yeah. So yeah, that's how your resume gets a bit prioritized or something. So I didn't apply for further studies, but yeah, I have been in contact with some of the scholars who applied for further studies, and they actually when they submit their application to the colleges, they also needed to submit their kind of resume or essays and the achievements they got in the past, and winning a scholarship from Apple. So they actually this most of the university does not not know about the WWDC itself, but they do know Apple, and they recognize a scholarship from Apple itself. So it adds up to your essay writing and whole the SOP.
Yeah, to add more to it, like I feel the when you're talking about further studies in India, the concept of further studies is usually like JEE, GMAT, CAT, but when you go abroad, it's a lot more focus on you as a person, your interests, and a lot of that has to come from your SOP and your like maybe previous achievements and stuff. So there it really boosts your profile when you say if you're for instance applying for a computer science related masters or something, you can really show that you're interested there by saying that okay, I won this and this is recognized by Apple. So it really
Yeah.
adds value there. Maybe in
Yes,
India you feel that it's not that valuable, but when you look at the bigger picture, it really does.
Hmm.
So Darshil, what, how did it really? How do you think it really affected your resume?
sure. So basically, I agree on the part that in India, the further studies portion might not be really helpful. But the point to mention over here would be that in the career part of it, it really helps you a lot when it comes to India because people, first of all, the supply demand equations of iOS developers can be is somewhat screwed right now, right? There's a demand for iOS developers, but there's not a great supply to it. And if you have something which can so differentiate you from the crowd, then that is a huge boost for you. So, like as I was mentioning, my first internship was an internshala internship. I just found one iOS internship and I did that for 3 months. After that, when I was applying to the GitHub externship, the initial discussion, my first whole interview was just about my dub submission and what I wrote, how was the experience, was I satisfied with my submission, like everything revolving my submission and the whole process of it. And even when I was applying for Swiggy, I applied to some other companies before that as well. And I very clearly remember that there were some issues with my like submission and everything. So the thing to know whenever you are going for
Darshil,
an interview, you need.
I guess we lost Darshil for a moment.
Yeah. Um, Amit, you want to take up till then? Talk about your experience.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, about my if I talk
Okay,
about
am
my
I
applying
back
part
now?
of things. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. You
Glad
are.
to be back.
Yeah,
It's fine.
please continue. Are you there, Darshan?
I'm back.
Yeah, please continue.
Okay, sure. Sorry for the interruption, folks. Yeah, so as I was mentioning, in the interview process, you want something to have if you don't have points to drive the interview process, then the interviewer will drive the interview. And if that happens, then you know there will be a lot of questions which you might not know the answer to, right? So if you have good points where you can drive the interview, then it's a win-win for you because eventually they will also realize that you are a good developer and the interview process was just for the sake of interviewing. So it's a
Mm.
very good benefit to have this. Also, one another benefit which I think is really huge is Twitter. Like once you write this on your Twitter, it does help with your reach on Twitter a lot. And if you look at it, the iOS community at Twitter is the best. Like it's hands down the best. Like I was not knowing anyone in Twitter, like in iOS Twitter. And at that time as well, when I had some doubts, people were ready to reach out. Like when I mentioned my doubts, people were ready to help and like get on a call. Like so to speak, I have Amit here on the call as well. And I very clearly remember that Amit had a call with me when I was applying for one of my like I was preparing for one of the interviews. So yeah, all of these things do help you a lot, and you should definitely apply for this.
Yeah, my take on like the applying part of things. So yeah, it would be very different kind of situation. I guess Darshan and like Karima already know about the situation I've been through. So I never applied for jobs after I won WWDC scholarship. So even my first role, the full-time role that I was doing at LGI, that was also after I won the scholarship. I got reached out from there, so that was a great experience. And after that stint to Zomato, that was also like I didn't apply for it, but caused this boost to this profile. I got approached from Zomato, and that really helps. That actually boosts your confidence that yeah, they already recognizes you, and you could have that confidence in you that yeah, I can do the interview. So that is actually great to have.
Yeah, I think another thing I want to mention here is that uh, it puts you in a on the map in a different kind of way. Like, for instance, I applied for Swiggy when Swiggy came for campus placements, and honestly, I didn't even clear the first round, which is the DSA round. But via LinkedIn, I could, they could see the potential in, and my interest lie in specifically in iOS, so they tested me specifically on that. So things like that really help you out. Like I think even Amit would agree that when, with especially the WWDC tag, you can skip a lot of DSA rounds.
Yeah, I definitely agree
Yep.
on this. Though, like for me too, I kind of I'm still am a bit scared about DSL go rounds. So I usually, ask the folks who's interviewing me if I can either skip the part cause yeah, or take the iOS part more into question. So yeah, having that bump in your profile because you are already having intent that you already have some experience in iOS development. So that actually motivates the interviewer to judge on basis of iOS itself. So that is an added benefit you can say.
Yeah.
Also,
Cool.
to add on
I
to
have
what Amit was saying earlier, just one small point that most of the developers, right, we do somewhat suffer from imposter syndromes at times, right? Like we do feel that what if there are better folks out there who can do better than us, and that imposter syndrome will always somewhat try to chase you down, right? But if you like, as he mentioned, it definitely gives your not just the resume but yourself a huge boost, and it gives you that confidence that yeah, I have done something, and that's why I'm getting the opportunities and I'm doing the work as well. So it's very good for yourself as well to apply, and if you get a chance, if you win, then it gives your confidence really huge boost.
cool. Yeah, that actually do. Cool. Moving on ahead, we already talked about like how the WWDC, what is it, and like what's the benefit of applying overall. But like coming off from our prior experience, how would you like, Darshil, what inspired you to create your WWDC submission basically, and what resources did you use to like create it?
Sure. So my main inspiration behind creating the DubDub submission was I was always an Apple fanboy. Like my first laptop was a Mac. My first phone was an iPhone 3GS. Like I was always a part of the ecosystem, and I was intrigued by the developers who have been developing apps as well. But I never had that knowledge like how can I do that myself. But once I got a chance at how the development part of it works, and I knew that there is a particular challenge which Apple does yearly, then I was very sure that I will at least try to submit something. And at that point of time, my whole submission was more about cryptography. Like the point which I was trying to focus on was a lot of folks were talking about crypto and this is the future and Web3 and NFTs, but no one really knew what is the foundation behind all of this and how does cryptography work. So my whole submission revolved around how like salting works, hashing works, how can you use different algorithms like elliptic curve cryptography or simple encryption and decryption as well. And I tried to dump it down in a way that someone who's completely new to cryptography can also take something home after like looking at my submission and they know something more than what they already knew, and it also had some advanced details as well for those who knew a bit more. So that was my whole submission. And coming to the resources which really helped me, uh, they were primarily the CryptoKit pages which Apple had created, like the documentation provided by Apple. That was surprisingly helpful. Apart from that, there were a lot of YouTube videos as well who covered the topic, and there were some conference videos as well, which revolved around cryptography. And apart from that, I generally studied a lot about cryptography, which was not related to Apple, but the foundation of it. That was quite helpful to me.
Yeah.
That is
What was
actually
your
good.
submission?
Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, about mine. So, yeah, my submission was actually in playground book. So it was mostly around Swift UI. At that time, this WWDC happened. I was quite into Swift UI. I was exploring it and very much into it. Like what could the future will become. So I kind of created this playground book, which basically tells about the basic components of Swift UI, and at the end of the tutorial, you could use the same knowledge that you learned earlier to create your WWDC badge, and you could actually wear it on 3D on AR. So yeah, that was my submission. But yeah, that's about it.
I
Though
think
like I
like
have an Mhm.
yeah, like I think you should tell more about the playground book.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it is a very less known format of submission. So basically, if you have use Playground app on iPad, you would have seen some of the books already, which is provided by Apple. Like there's some games for child which teaches you Swift basics. So they are actually Swift Playground books, which basically have an content on the left side and the actual code running on the right side. So that was a lesser known format, and there was very little resources about it on the internet as how to create one. And there was very keen limitation to it that you will need to install and use an older version of Xcode. You cannot use the latest one to create the playground book. So there were some limitations too. And also, like, you cannot create it from scratch. You will need to download a template from Apple developers website and then edit it to like have your custom content on it. Also, like having something custom like animation and stuff, you will need to write JavaScript, which was really weird. So yeah, it was cumbersome. And also the markdown format about playground. So when you create a playground book, you can't have markdown rendered with the code itself. You can present your idea use writing the markdown and explaining some stuff, which I actually used to explain some of the parts of the code. So that is also like was not easily reachable in the internet. So yeah, it was a bit challenging to create, but it was fun to create.
Yeah, I think another thing that we missed out from Darshil's point was uh, what Swift resources did you use to make the project?
Yep, that's actually quite interesting and can be really helpful. Uh, so it's not just regarding the like the week or the month where I was like developing my playground project. Right before that as well, there were a lot of folks who helped me learn Swift, and I guess that's also a very important part. So I had two mentors or gods per se. One is obviously Paul Hudson, the 100 Days of Swift UI Challenge. That really helped me to learn Swift to write the playground book. And secondly, it was Angela Yu. So Angela Yu's developer bootcamp on Udemy. That's also a really huge resource. But when it comes to like the playground book, which is a thing of past now, there's a particular channel on YouTube called Anyone Can Code. Uh, which is also created by one of the fellow Dub winners. He has won like more than 4 or 5 times now, so I think
Hmm.
he won't be submitting this time around. But yeah, so that channel really helped me a lot, and I really paused the video at time to like look at a particular problem and see how he's solving it and how I can move forward. Just to like mention one particular bug in particular, like just specifying a bug, uh, there was one problem which I was facing with changing the live view of the playground book, and I was stuck on that for like almost 3 days, like more than 3 days, and I was like almost losing hope. I might not be able to like make through this. But then one day on the Dub forums, one random comment came up and that just solved that particular bug. So there are a lot of resources. Just stay awake, stay online, try to Google about the problems which you're facing or the bug which you're facing, and there would be some solution available to it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think another thing to add here is that when you are facing a problem, a lot of the times other people are also facing the problem. So try asking on Discord or other public forums, Stack Overflow or maybe the Apple forum. So if you ask there, what happens is if like many people are facing the same issue, a third person looks at it, they know the solution, and you have it. And like that's one easy way, and another way would be like ask other folks who you think might know about it and things like that. Maybe you can ask us, if not here, like even personally, you can message. I think I speak for all of us here that we are all open to like reach out to us on Twitter. So yeah, and that's about it. Anything else,
Cool.
Darshil, that you want to mention?
Nothing else, just reaching out to fellow developers can be really helpful at times. And we do, as developers, tend to shy away from it at times because we don't want to mention the bugs which we are facing to our known folks. But it can be really helpful, and you should definitely do that. So if you have our Twitter details, then you can obviously like DM us or mention us or anything. But apart from that, if you have our numbers as well, don't shy away from calling as well. So just stay out there and talk about the problems which you are facing, and there would be a solution available to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
So we have a fellow scholar on the YouTube comments. Yeah, Mohit, we should have, but the temperature is not allowing us to wear the jackets.
One very interesting fact about this. So I really wanted to wear that jacket during one of the interviews, and I was sitting in Ahmedabad. It was peak summer. I remember I turned on the AC. And then I wore the jacket because they really wanted to do that. But yeah, that jacket is really special.
I mean, for
Yeah,
me, I've just kept that hoodie in the box, all like packed well, and like just for special occasions. I don't know
Just
what that
one
special
Twitter
occasion
photo
is, but
and
it is a
post.
special occasion.
yeah. I remember me wearing that, in very like very little times. I did not wear it at all. Like it's very precious for me too.
Yeah, and yours is like super flashy too, right, Amrit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a whole
yeah, it
jacket
is.
which like is both side wearable and it's very funky and colorful.
Yeah, with magnetic badges too.
Yep.
So it was good. It was good. And whole unboxing experience itself, like people posted unboxing experience of that box, and it was so amazing. And I was waiting for mine to arrive. So I remember this Mohit, like who commented on our channel. His and mine, actually, a jacket got to the delivery boy was carrying for both of us. And when I got to him and asked about mine, he gave me the box of Mohit, and then I had to again return it to him and get mine back. So that was a nice experience.
Coming to the
That's
unboxing wala
nice.
thing, even I recorded one video. I really wanted
Hmm.
to edit and post it, but now it's in my archives and it will always stay with me.
So
I
you should
mean, I am
definitely
not an
post it.
unboxing kind of a person. Yeah, you should definitely do that. Like
Yeah,
personally, I'm not an unboxing kind of a person that, who will like uh, be all excited about unboxing something. But that was, I think, the only box so far that I actually enjoyed the whole unboxing experience. Like
yep.
when you open the box, not just the hoodie, like the first thing you see is that uh
Certificate.
like
Card.
the dub sign, and you open it and the certificate kind of a thing. It's so pretty and just so like makes the whole struggle of winning worth it.
Yeah, it does. It does. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm picking up a question from Yashraj. So Yashraj, as I've read through your comments, your issue seems to be a little bit specific. So I have posted the link to the Discord channel. You could post your question in there, and we will be able to, maybe get some more detailed screenshots and maybe able to answer you in there.
Yeah, it seems quite specific. And other than that, any other folks who have any questions, feel free to shoot your questions.
Yeah, for sure. Till that, like, I wanted to ask you guys, like, currently, like, you guys are interning, and so are you guys applying for this year?
Yes,
Good
without a
question to
doubt,
ask.
100%. That's so
Okay.
for me, the whole funda around it is, yeah, I'm pretty sure I won't go for higher education. So this would be my
Hmm.
last submission, and
Oh.
it should be worthwhile. So I'm still trying to figure out something which. So I had really good ideas regarding the playground book, but now Apple
Hmm.
did a complete switcheroo,
Oh.
and they have gone the app way. So I'm trying to rethink and make something which is great. But yeah, I'll definitely submit something.
What's about you, Grandma?
I'll have to apply to get the AirPods.
Oh, okay. Cool stuff.
People
I guess
might get
incentive
confused
is
that
working.
if you apply for the project, then Apple sends you an AirPod.
Yeah, they will be.
I wish they did.
Yeah, at
True.
least an
But
HomePod would be
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, something
Wouldn't it?
something
my
which is
parents
tech
were like,
worthy.
I think this is just like a short something like when I won, I was all excited that oh my god, I won. And when I saw that on the laptop screen, I read it like thrice, and then I went to my parents and told them I won. And their first reaction is like, "Yay!" And then they're like, "What did you win?" And then I'm telling them I won this scholarship, and then they're like, "Okay, what will you get?" I'm telling them I'll get a hoodie, and they're like, "Okay, you're dancing so much for a hoodie."
My sister had a very similar reaction. She's like, "You're not getting
Yeah.
a MacBook? That should be the bare minimum."
No, like so my parents also had a similar that at least like the bare minimum would be like an Apple Watch, like the low tier stuff. But like, what is this? The first thing was, are you getting an Apple internship? I'm like,
Yes,
no.
yes,
Then
yes.
they're like, okay, second is, are you getting an Apple product? And yeah,
Uh,
like saying,
Tim, if you're
well,
listening, we have very good ideas for this year's submissions and winners. Do reach out to us on Twitter, Tim.
for sure. Also, like we'll post up about you could join our Discord channel to get us our. I have my Twitter handle already presented in here. You can also we will post the relevant Twitter handle of Karima and Darshil on the Discord channel, so you can take it from there. Okay, guys.
yeah,
So
I'll just edit
that's.
my name as well.
But
Definitely, definitely.
that disappointment I had on winning it on 2020 was if I would have applied for a year before. So I actually prevented myself from applying in 2019 because I thought that I'm not prepared enough.
Ah,
So don't let this feeling keep you from applying. Submit
correct.
anything at all, whatever interests you. But yeah, do apply for it. Otherwise, yeah, that kind of builds up that yeah, you missed a chance.
The
Yeah, I
regret
think,
would be lifelong. So yeah,
and I
yeah,
think what
Garima.
Amit is mentioning, that is very common among especially developers, the feeling that, you're not prepared enough to apply. So don't feel that way. Even like, it's open for all age groups from 13 to like up to like whenever you are a student. So don't shy away from applying. Just give it a shot. Maybe you don't win, maybe you do, but there's no harm applying. At the worst, you'll learn. So
Fun fact
Yeah,
regarding the age factor. So I remember from last year's like meetups which are happening after the event. There were a lot of folks from Brazil who were like 28 or 30, and they were designers who were just a part of the Apple learning programs, right? So they also applied
developer
and they also
academy.
won. Yeah, the Developer Academy, the Apple Developer Academy. So yeah, age is not a limitation. If you are a student, if you can apply, if you fit the criteria, just give it a shot. It will be worth it.
yeah, it will definitely be. Okay, guys. So yeah, we are almost at the end of the session. So if you have any more questions, you can set up the YouTube channel, YouTube chat, and we could take it up. And yeah, you could also reach out to us on our respective Twitter handle as well as on the Discord server. Cool, guys. So yeah, have a nice weekends up ahead.
Yeah,
So you
and
too.
hello,
Yeah, Green.
am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, you are on
You're
mute,
not
Karima.
audible now.
Thank you so much, Darshil, for joining us today. And thank you so much to all the viewers who were there with us.
Thanks
Cool,
for
Yeah.
guys.
having me.
See you soon again. Bye bye.
See you soon.